Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. Just going to come to you with probably several videos in this late hour, but I'm going to press them out and put them out. And this video is going to cover females, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, daughters, sisters. I want to tell you, all females, this message is for you. Now, I want you to understand one thing I have learned throughout my life, dealing with the Most High since I was a little girl. I come to understand Him pretty well. And with the gift that He has put in me, it allows me to hear His voice. And I can hear His voice either at a distance, I can hear His voice close up, I can hear His voice even when I hear several other voices. I can still hear behind hearing. And that is a gift from the Most High Yah. When He has chosen you, elect you, appointed and anointed and predestined you before the foundation of the world, let me tell you, sisters, He definitely give you what you need, the tools to work with. Now you could compress. You could hinder those tools from coming forth. And the number one way is allowing someone else to tell you what the Most High Yah has birthed in you. A lot of you have so many gifts, but you'll never be able to manifest them. They would never be able to come forth in this day and time. And it ain't that the Most High did not know that. It's just that He's about what He's about. He's not going to stop anything. Let's say, for instance, this was the person that I am, and He knows it. And I love the idea that the Most High has really shown me that, girl, I know you inside and out. I am your creator, but it's nothing about me that's hidden from the Most High Yah. You know, He's the beginning and the end of my life. He knows me before the foundation of the world. He knew me. So He knows me well. And the things that I would ask, let's go to Genesis, how in the beginning when He created Adam and then later on down created Eve, and He put them in there. And when they began to hear the voice of the serpent over what the Most High Yah had given them, which He didn't give the order to she, He gave it to he. And he was in the presence of she and it, and listened as well. And she continued to feed it to him, and he ate of it after he was given the one command in the Garden of Eden. I turned around and I said, wait a minute, something wrong with that picture. I was very young. I'm saying something like probably 13. I said, wait a minute, something wrong with that picture. I said, if you knew already that they would take of it, why put it there? Why? It's because we really don't know Him. We think we know Him because we think we got His name packed down. We think we are Hebrew Israelites. We think we are the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But all of that is vain and vexed if we're not in unity with the Father in spirit and in truth. So you can be in unity in flesh. You can be in unity in every way outside of spiritual, which would always be vain and vexed. So I would ask Him, why would you do that? You know, that was always a part of who I am. And even to today, when he explained to me that I'm always asking questions, why, or asking questions. And if I look back, or you have ever heard that song, when you look back over your life, when I look back over my life and I think things over, I can truly say that Yahuwah has always been my way. I got a living testimony. And I can say that because he has been with me since I was a very, very young child. He's walked with me. I heard my mom say to my son the other day while we were over to her house, she said, do you remember how you used to have a cross under your pillow, under your mattress, and a Bible? I was a little girl, you guys. So I came here like that, you know? So I can't afford in the year 2020 and give all that the Most High has invested into me to some man who ain't even done nothing in the spiritual realm, nor have he received the gifts, nor can he find his place in the body of Hamashiach because he don't know where his place is at. See, the ignorance of our men today is they feel that their place is to belittle a woman, to put their hands on a woman, to keep a woman quiet so that they may hold a position in the flesh as king, as leaders. Let me explain to you one thing. You can't find out one word that says that the Most High Yah gave gifts as kings. He gave gifts as leaders. That's not the gift he gave. You won't find it because it's not going to be found. Now, you'll find it in the book because of somewhat man has said it. And that's where we have a real bad problem. And we'll never reach where we need to reach out for or reach and grab because we are so busy. Just like the oppressor got us here, we've been got not only by the oppressor, you women, but we've been got by a man that only knows about his flesh. He knows nothing spirit, nor do he know the spirit and truth in which the Most High has given a people. Now, I want to, this lesson is going to cover women understanding that this thing is bigger than a man. Hallelujah. It always been and always will. And what you have understood and has captured and has ate of in your flesh to where it has given you such a heavy delusion that you would rather believe a lie than to believe the truth. And the Most High don't have no problem with that. That's why he was saying, look here, I put him there. I knew that everything that took place in the Garden of Eve was going to take place. He knew that because this thing didn't start in the Garden of Eve. This started in the heavens. Okay? So this message is a message to the women. You either get up, stand up, be heard, find where you belong in the body of Hamashiach. Because let me tell you, 3 days ago, the Most High but 3 days ago, he revealed something to me that I never, ever looked at. But I knew it. Isn't that deep? Isn't it something when you know something already, but you never look to read it, but it's just something in you. And then when you go to read it, there it is, bam, you know. But this time the Most High wanted me to understand something because he's getting me to the point where I can see how far from the biblical book males have dragged this word. They have dragged it all up and down the mud. And then come out saying, Yahuwah, Yahuwah. I got that name right. I got the law and the commandments. And you know what? The law and the commandments is just as sweet as it was then as it is now. It's where a man's heart is. The Most High never made the commandments to be a iron claw as they use it today. He never intend for that. He intend for it to be instructions and directions. Now follow me. Follow me how? In these instructions and direction. But men, they use it as an iron claw. To do what, Deborah? So that they may use this here as an iron claw, as a lion with his claw, clawing you to pieces. But I hear the word of the Most High Yah says, he that has an ear, let him hear. That lets me know that it's not what man said, says. Said and says, meaning this here, they've been running their mouth for a mighty long time. Things have been going their way since the beginning. But just because it's been going their way and they've been running their mouth a mighty long time, I'm just now being revealed that guess what? There's a lot of things that has been totally taken out and placed to bring them comfort and authority. And that's sad because I never saw in there when I've read it over and over. I always thought it says he poured out gifts unto man, M-A-N. But as I see, when it said men, that is not how the Most High Yah rumbles. He don't do it that way. For him to sit and only say that he gave gifts to men. He said, now, Deborah, all those gifts that I have embedded in you, you mean to tell me you're going to look at that and think that it is what it said that it is? I said, Father Yah, I only saw it to be M-A-N. And I thank you, I glorify you, I magnify you, Father Yah, for revealing it that it's it. He was trying to, it's M-E-N. He was trying to show me how far that the men have gone all the way up into the year 2020 to manipulate us as women, that we are less than the less on the face of the earth. But yet he wants me to share with you some wonderful information. And it's where you take it. With me, I can care less what you do with it. If the Most High give it to me, I put it out there, that's it. All I care about, if one ear can hear. You know why? Because if he gave it to me to speak on this devil platform, then therefore it's only for that one ear. And that's how he rumble. He's not fascinated with likes and subscribers. Oh, I like your message. Oh, you so good. Oh, that's a good message. You know this. No. He's not interested in receiving praise through man. You know, he's interested in us understanding where we at today and where we're going tomorrow. Because right now we are in them birth pains and you don't hear not one so-called man who he said he is. You know why? Because the kings and the leaders that they say they are is all flesh. That's why it's a lot of pride in it, a lot of boosting, debating. Oh, you sit down, you shut up, keep women out of everything. They're really thinking they're gonna gain all that glory and all that authority. But guess what? They only gonna receive that with the silly women who partake in every word that they say without hearing what is it that the Most High Yah is saying out of what? His mouth. But they can't hear his mouth because you have to have the ear to hear, not ears. So that ear is spiritual. You got to be able to hear that. So you can be able to discern who's speaking. Man can be standing here speaking to you. And if he's saying, if he's speaking to you, you should be able to hear him spirit and in truth. Not sitting up on these devil platform watching them and listening to them month after month, week after week, Sabbath after Sabbath, year after year, years after years, and your spirit has not been given anything to connect you with the Most High Yah. Then they wonder, why is it we can't have the miracles and signs? What makes you think you're entitled when you worshiping your man-made king? You're worshiping your man-made leader. You're worshiping your man-made husband. You're worshiping your man-made authority. You're worshiping your man-made God. Just like the days of yesterday, what did they do? They idol their gods. Something that Yah was disapproved from Genesis all the way to Revelation. And you think that, how do you think they're doing it today? On these platforms, you all have made these people your God. And he got no praise for it. He gains no praise for it, no glory, no nothing. Because you're so busy giving it to them in their precepts, giving it to them in their line, giving it to them a little here and a little there. And I don't care what kind of books they bring. They can bring up a million books and you all eat it up like it's a full meal deal and don't even understand the Ruach HaKodesh don't need not one book. The Ruach, he don't even need this. Because who Yah is greater than any book. You get what I'm saying? This book can't compare to the Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh come to break this down in you. Because it's so much been added into this of the heart of man and the hand of man to where you are lost without a cause. Now, let me go take you women on a little traveling trip because you need something. Okay? Now, I want to also let you all know, women, it ain't going to get better. That's what the prophetess was created in the position in the body of Hamashiach. Not to tell you what you want to hear, but to tell you what you going to hear. Whether you hear it out of the prophetess' mouth or not, it's going to walk itself out. So it's high time in the year of 2020 that if you think you're waking, you better try it again. Okay. Now, I'm going to start you off with, let's start off with, Revelation is so sweet. Oh, Revelation, you so sweet. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5. Let's just start you off right there. We're going to, this is for you women. Get you a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. I know you ain't going to hear because you wants to hear man because he done told you that's the only thing you can hear from. And you're so ignorant. You have totally 100 forsaken the Ruach HaKodesh who said to be the teacher of not some things, but all things. That means the Ruach is coming to he that has an ear to hear him in spirit, to teach him spirit and truth. That means it even come to teach you all things. But because we don't want the Ruach, we think the Ruach is man because he told us he's the leader, he's the king, he rules, and you shut up and get in the corner. So you can shut up and get in the corner. But Sister Deborah, you've been with me too long. He shared too many gifts in me for me to sit and bow down and honor and worship a man. It's in me. It ain't going nowhere. It's in me, and I'm going to leave to when I sleep with what he has embedded in me. It ain't going nowhere. But if you want to take and not use your talents that he has invested in you because man has taught you, no, it's into us. Yes, it is hundreds of scriptures in the book that gives man this authority and this leadership. But you have to know your Most High Yah. You have to have the spiritual ear to hear, and he has to be greater in you than he is in the world. You have to know your Yeshua HaMashiach and know HaMashiach is the head of the body that called you into a powerful position. Because I'm going to tell you something. That HaMashiach ain't no play. It is no play. And when he come, everything is going to get in order. Oh, yeah. Because he's the head of the body. You see? And then while we're running around here trying to make everything be as a man said it is and how a man said it is, we are messed up from what? The flow up. So I want to share with you, we're going to go from Isaiah 5. Isaiah 5. And we wonder and we're waiting for them to change. They're not going to change, women. They're not going to get any better. They're not going to do any better. You know why? The Most High have always already spoke those things in here. He has already given us that. If they're not going to change for the Most High Yah, or they're not going to lead you women to the Most High Yah so you can be the best that you can be in Yah, so that you can be the best that you can be with him. They ain't going to do that. They got you shutting up, close your mouth. You ain't got no gifts. Why? Because they went into the word and made the gift only apply to them. It's from the beginning all the way to Genesis. They done smeared all kind of things by adding and taking away. That's why the precepts are there for he that searches, ever learning, never coming to the knowledge. Because searching and never ever learning is a form of studying. But wait a minute, hold up. But never coming to the knowledge is because, and all their searching, and all their precepts, and all their lying, and all their little here, and all the books that they said has been taken, as if the Ruach gonna stand around and let anything take what comes out of his mouth. Not so, said the Most High Yah. That's why it's important to have the Holy Spirit, so that you can hear what thou said, the Most High Yah, out of his mouth. And yes, you can read what man is saying, but what man is saying got to line up with what has already came out of the mouth of Yah, or already then came out of the mouth of Yeshua HaMashiach. You see what I'm saying? All this other stuff where these men came up and said and add on their part, that's why women never had a right. Women never had anything. That's why women was always treated as a sex tool. Even as 12 and 11, they just going around having them. That's what happened when he ended the last, back in the days of Noah. If you understand what marriage was back then, believe it or not, that's what they were doing. And then he said, wait a minute. A lot of them want to lean on some giants. Now, I don't have no problem with that. But I can tell you one thing, y'all are a long ways from truth. Because this thing is real, but it's spirit. You have to be able to see anything natural first by seeing it spirit. If you can't turn anything you have read nor seen into a spiritual realm, you're lost without a cause. And you'll never get the fullness. That's where he said they're going to be ever learning and never come into the knowledge, because they have made themselves kings. They have made themselves leaders. They have made themselves a Hebrew Israelite movement. They have made themselves denomination. They have made themselves to be everything, and have forsaken the one that he gave them to help them make first children. And then he didn't say you are only good for lying down, birthing the children, taking care. You should see the labor that women has put out throughout life for them. And I'm speaking of black women. I'm going to call us brown-skinned women. It is so sad throughout our times. The labor, and I can even say even in Africa, the labor that we have labored and worked and has not received anything in return. Not even respect from our own children, not even respect for the one that we carried his seed to birth his nation. None whatsoever can be found. But you know what Yah said, just like he told me in the Garden of Eve, Deborah, hold up now. Don't you know I knew what was going on in the Garden of Eve when they sat and entertained the serpent? I was there. That's who I serve. I don't know who you serve, but that's the sort of power I serve. He can shut it up and he can shut it down. And it's going to all walk his will. And it's the sad thing I think I have learned about a movement called the Hebrew Israelite movement is they don't even know this YAHWEH that they, YAHWEH and all this names and words they be claiming, but then they're going to say it in Hebrew, but all the other words be in English. They don't even understand. They are so far out of order. I even was thinking, and I was so sad because what Jacob was saying to me, Jacob was speaking to my spirit because the Most High has suffered him to minister to my spirit because I needed him. I needed Jacob. I needed to hear Jacob explain to me what he was going through. You know, Jacob has so much in common with me. And I just thank the Most High for allowing him to come and minister to me, because throughout my life, like I said, I've been doing this since I was a little bitty girl. And throughout my life, there are times where he has some them to minister to me. And I have embraced them because it's like, okay, Jacob, okay, Jeremiah, okay, Moses, tell her, okay, Abraham, tell her what it's like. Isaac, come over here and tell her what it's like. You see what I'm saying? It has been, you know, when they say he's a comforter, that's what it is. It comes and it brings you into such a comfort state of mind. So you can say, okay, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. You know, so that's what I love about the idea of having the Most High as a comforter, because he has to answer to any and everything. He is the right and perfect comforter that ever hit the face of the earth and ever will, because he can clean anything up and comfort you in the midst of it. So I say unto you, women, we're finna go into Isaiah chapter 5. Isaiah chapter 5. And this message is for women. Men, stand down. Okay? You ain't got no business in this message, because you don't know, you have messed up your whole tribe. You have messed up your whole nation. And I was coming today, I was just listening to the Spirit deal with me about how the tribe of Judah, the last thing they should be concerned about is any other tribe. But that's sad, because they run around here, I'm a king, I'm a leader, shut up, I rule my household. Women, you shouldn't shut up, you shouldn't exalt yourself over men. Show me in the biblical word where the Most High Yah spoke that. Show me in the biblical word where Yeshua HaMashiach spoke that. You're not going to find it. Why? Because he said everything that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah, not everything man wants to come up with and make what he wanted to be. That's how you end up with so many different denominations and religion, because everybody know how to go into the same books the Hebrew Israelites went in, and they go with all other books. That's what the Hebrew Israelite did. They figured, hey, the Holy Spirit ain't good enough. We got to go find what's missing. We got to bring it into one so we can get the people to. You don't have to do none of that. Just like those people that's out there looting and doing the things that they're not supposed to. They don't, you know what? All this that you see, it need be. Since the day Adam was in the garden, the Most High said to me as a prophet, it need be. Because Deborah, this didn't start on the earth. I know what I'm doing from the higher level. See, that's how he rumbles with me. So that's why you don't hear me when I speak. That's why you all are not grafting anything when I speak. It's because you're a flesh feeder. You're not a spiritual eater. You are a flesh feeder. A flesh eater and not a spiritual hearer. You see? So, and it makes a lot of sense, a whole lot of sense. So I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13 and 14. As I enter into Isaiah chapter 5, 13, Isaiah chapter 5, 13, verse 13 and verse 14. And just walk with me a little way. Okay? And we're going to start with 13. And it reads, therefore, my people, first he called them my people, are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. Wait a minute. Whatever happened to all that they had and they received from all their kings and all their leaders And all those prophets that the Most High sent down that lost their lives trying to get them to know knowledge, to know wisdom, and to understand the will of the Most High Yah. Why is it here in Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13? Therefore, my people are gone. That means they gone. Why? They gone away from what is true. This is the thing, and they have always did that, even their forefathers. The Most High pour out miracles and signs and speak to them and direct them and give them commandments. They'll turn all the way backwards away from what the Most High had given them. But listen to this. And gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and they're honorable men. You see that? M-E-N? They're honorable men. See, you all thinking it's about picking each man out on these devil platforms. Oh, he's a good teacher. He's a good leader. Oh, he makes a lot of sense. You better wake up and understand the Ruach HaKodesh teacher, because that's who he is. Find out who you are in the body of Hamashiach. And don't put all your spirit into no man. See, when he was in the beginning, when he said he created man and woman, that a man would leave his father and cleave to his woman, he spoke of as flesh. He's speaking as flesh, that you're going to cleave to one another, because you were already, when you would put in there, you wasn't with sin. You see, so you was to cleave to her. So you all were to become one in the flesh. But what our women has done, they have sold their spirit to these men for free. For free. And they thinking because they got somebody that says he's a king, says he's a leader, says he's a ruler, or I'm the man of the house, submit to me because he said. He's telling you everything a man that put in this book to do. And you have not heard the voice of the Most High Yah speaks to you. Now the thing, if man can pinpoint and show you where Yah has said these things, or Yeshua HaMashiach has said these things, then that's fine and dandy. But when it's all about what a man then said that a woman should do, oh, let's give you an example. You remember when Moses, I'm gonna give you a really good example. You remember when the Pharisees and them, they were all together and they were trying to test Yeshua. And they went on and telling him what Moses told us, that we can get of a written decree and send their wives away. Now Moses told them that, and Moses did tell them that. I'm quite sure, because it says that Moses told them that this is what they said, even though they was trying to trap Yeshua. But what they was going to trap, listen to what Sister Deborah finna say. While they was trying to trap Yeshua, they didn't realize that Hamashiach is one you can't manipulate. You see, they don't understand that. They don't understand the power of Hamashiach that's connected to Christ, Yeshua. They don't understand that then, and y'all don't even understand that now. That's why all this stuff that they're talking about is vain and vax. Solomon needs to come up and rise from the dead and break that thing down in you all over again. Okay, but what happened was with that, they said to Yeshua that Moses said we can give him a written decree. Want me to tell you why? Exactly what they doing today. See, you know how marriage came to in the biblical, in the beginning. So they were also continuing to do that. And one thing I hate is, because I was taken there in the spirit, that these was young little girls. These men were breaking in. I'm serious. Taking those that were virgins and having asked their way. And Moses saw it was out of control. He just told them, just give them a written decree and set these kids free. Set these women free. Because because you all are just using them. I'm feeling Moses right now. Moses, I'm feeling you right now. So I'm going to step in and speak on your behalf. Because you definitely probably told them that. But I want to say to you out there, I'm going to step in the realm of Yeshua and tell you what he said. He said to them, have you not read? In a sense, I don't care what Moses told you. And if he told you that, it was because the hardening of your heart, meaning the evil that was in your heart. So it was setting really those women free. So he saw that it was great numbers of you all doing this, and he was setting them free because you all didn't mean them no good. So he said, just give them a written decree and let them go. Because you all was messing them up, just as you're doing today. So when I hear the cries of sisters talking about how our men are today, let me tell you something, baby. It ain't going to get no better. Because we have to understand what is actually going on. We have to understand that. We have to understand that these men is not worshiping the Most High Yah in spirit and truth. We got to understand we don't worship them. We do not worship them. We do not put them on pedestals. Stop calling him king and leader, ruler. All those things that's for those who are the seed of the Most High Yah. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and David, they was entitled to that. Every bit of it. Because they were the seed that carry on down to Yeshua. They was everything that the Most High wanted them to be. You think these people, these men today, are worthy to be called a king? Worthy to be called even a leader? Worthy to be getting you to close your shop, your crap, your mouth, and let them rule and have dominion over you? But then they don't want to take care of the household and labor. They want to wait till the food stamps come. They want to wait till the world give you a check or you get your taxes so they can get something. But yet they want you to represent them and look at them as a king, as a leader. God forbid it. Now, if our men is following the Most High Yah in spirit and truth, and how you know that, you got to be lining up with them too. You got to know Yah for yourself. You can't just assume that he's worshiping the Most High Yah because he says his words, he speak Hebrews, and he tell you the things that he's found in the book. Wait a minute. Yah ain't never been lost. Yeshua HaMashiach ain't either. So these men ain't important nothing in you all women. Y'all wake up. That's those silly women. And it's going to be a great number. Continue in the last days. A great falling away. It's already done happened. A great falling away has been to happen. And that's the hearts of these women. Then fell away. That's why they can't take care of their family, their children. They can't take care of nothing because they don't see nothing incorrect. And they want to, and if you think for a minute taking these men and they haven't even got their spirit in line with the Most High, he already didn't let them know you got to get that spirit, that flesh under subjection. Or if not, you ain't gonna know how to treat this woman. You ain't gonna know how to do this woman right. You see, you ain't gonna know her purpose. But Sister Deborah finna tell you women your purpose and really who you were from before the foundation of the world. Now, after this message, as you choose to hear this message and go, you go on under. You go on under. You ain't going nowhere, but in a circle with some man. Okay, so we're gonna go to Isaiah chapter 5. We're gonna go over verse 13 and 14. This time I'm gonna try to read it straight through, and then maybe I might expound on it after I'm done, because with me, that's why I said it's really hard for me to teach, because I can see so much power in the spirit and anointed in the words that the Most High Yah is speaking. Okay, I can kind of feel it. I haven't gripped it yet in this one, but I'm just saying that's why I tend to take so long. So I'm going to Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge, and they're honorable men and flamished, and their multitude dry up with thirst. Verse 14. Therefore, hell has enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measures, and their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he that rejoices shall descend into it. He that do what? Rejoice. Where you see that, Sister Deborah? And well, let's say, and he that rejoice shall descend into it. Do you hear me, women? He's talking about your men. He's talking about your man, Pomp. That's what he's talking about. Now listen to this. Therefore, he has enlarging. No. Therefore, hell has in. Let me pick this book up. Verse 14. Therefore, hell has enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. Now, why is he calling it a her? That's what the Most High wants you to meditate on. All the verses that Sister Deborah is dealing with has to do with a female category. Okay? And I want you to understand everything he created from the beginning to the end, it still yet rests on the ideal of a female. Why they didn't took as it a male and ran with it and don't even understand who the Most High really is. You see what I'm saying? He's not made up with what they think he's made up of. Meaning, he's so crazy about men and he ruled in that area. But you have to see the sensitivity that he has for women. And that's why I say in this day and time, women, you better wake up or you're going down with all the clowns that's on this devil platform feeding you. Okay. Now, in this here again, one thing I love about him, he said, in listen to this, you all, listen to this. In Isaiah chapter 5, verse 13, first thing he said was, therefore, my people. He letting you know who it is. It is the house of Israel and the tribe of Judah. He's already letting you know. He called them my people. Now watch this here. Are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. That's like today. You hear me, women? It's no different then as it is today. I think personally, maybe because I'm living in today, it's worse. He's saying here, because they have no knowledge and they're honorable men. See that? See? And you run around here honoring him and making him all this and some, and y'all ain't even called him to be the position that he said he is, because he ain't put no king in the body of Hamashiach. He ain't put no leader in the body of Hamashiach, not in the order in which these men are conducting themselves, and got you all in the corner saying, shut up. And you supposed to be heard just as much as they're to be heard. But because they took this Bible and they wrapped it in discriminating against the other part of them, that's how sick it is, as the Most High begin to develop in me what is actually going on to the fullest. And they can't even see it, because somewhere in there, he was talking about the strong delusion. So I know for a fact the strong delusion is heavy amongst our tribe of Judah. I definitely know for a fact that it is, because they don't even answer to Jacob in Genesis 49, describing to them who they supposed to be. And if they're not that, it's because something is on them, something about them that's missing. But Jacob comes telling them about even their hands going to always be in the enemy net. What happened? Because in the year 2000, Jacob, I feel you, Jacob. But Jacob, if you could just look over here a little bit, you'll see who your son, Judah, has become. Okay? So he gave you all the prompts. But he also said, who can arouse Judah? Nobody. Nobody. He asked that question. Nobody. Until Shalom come. That's sad, ain't it? And our women run around here thinking that, they got a full meal deal. They got it all made. We married a man and he's a king. What made him a king? What made him a leader? What happened to the body of Hamashiach and all that works they're in? Because they have forsaken the body of Hamashiach, which where they are to be working. That's why I say they can't sit on these platforms and ridicule those that's out there doing what they think is right, when they have not done anything with what they have. And what he said, the laborers, he said, desire or pray that he will send more laborers into the vineyard, because it is right. It's ready. But you think that these on this devil platform are those that's coming to labor? No, they ain't finna define labor. It's not what these are doing on these devil platforms, because they're not giving you nothing but something for your flesh. They ain't doing nothing to get your spirit started or stepping in the right direction. Everything that they have put on here since Sister Deborah has looked and behold them has been so fleshly, vain and vexed, because it does nothing to your spirit man to teach your spirit man how to in tune with the Most High Yah. So you standing around here calling him king and worshiping him as a god and an idol, and you have forsaken the true and living Most High. So you wonder why we are in early labor and why we're going to be judged after going through 400 years. Have that ever dawned on you all? Why isn't we going through another judgment if we went through 400 years? It's because you still ain't got it. You still away from it because you don't listen to the prophets. That's just out of the question. They would rather teach you they would rather teach you a lie about prophets than to teach you who's to turn to in these days and time, this day and time. They would rather speak it into you as if the prophets are not standing for the Most High or not about the Most High, and they false. They would rather drill that into your mental state of mind than to give your spirit something to go on and to hear what the true prophets is here to say. Oh, they ain't gonna let you do that. They didn't do it then, and they ain't gonna let you do it now. They want to be your king, your leader, your ruler. They want you to come join their camp, their group, their organization. You know, they want to talk to you from a distance and tell you what you experience and why they sit out in the woods. Wake up, people. Wake up. Okay, now Isaiah here, I love Isaiah 5, verse 13 and 14, because the Most High is saying something very clear here. He said, therefore, my people are gone into captivity. Now, see, who can call somebody my people? Who can actually call somebody they people outside of the Most High Yah? You get what I'm saying? So he's saying here, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are, famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. That's sad. Their multitude is dried up with thirst. That's sad. They missing something. They missing something. Tribe of Judah, your people are missing something. And it's not you. It is the spirit of the Most High Yah. It is his Holy Spirit. It is his anointing. It is his purpose. It is who he is connected to as far as his will. People need to get in tune with their spirit man so that their spirit man may be in tune with the only thing that Yah is willing to suffer them to abide in him in, and that's spirit and truth. Okay. And then 14 said, therefore hell has enlarging herself. Herself. I want you women to understand what herself, and open her mouth without measure. You see, this is what has happened. And we're running around here thinking we're going to be running around praising because Babylon going down. These people on this devil platform are teaching people Babylon is going down and Babylon is going. I tell you, Babylon is already been going down. They've been going down. And the going down of Babylon, these people on this devil platform can't teach you. They can't teach you. They so busy feeding you flesh. They want your flesh to see Babylon going down. But Sister Deborah telling you Babylon going down spirit. Anything happens and come to play or come forward, it's got to come spirit first before it come flesh or before it come natural. But see, they teaching you the natural to get you prepared natural. Oh, you're going to be here and he's bringing Babylon down. He's about to, but they ain't telling you the judgment of the whole house of Israel. They ain't telling you that they still refuse to stand for righteous and justice. They want to take this platform, smear it like they did this book with all kind of things to bringing you into their newfound denomination called the Hebrew Israelites. And it's not new, but it's new to a people that's just, there's hundreds and hundreds people are joining it as if it's new. because they're feeding the people the wrong way of tuning into the Most High Yah. Now, I like this here. The reason why I pulled this verse out is because I was showing you actually how he said hell has enlarging herself. In these books, you are here, in these verses, you are hear something, and I'm going to shoot through them real, how would I say it? I'm going to go through it pretty fast because I want you to understand Isaiah 62. Isaiah 62, that is something about a woman that is dear to the Most High, the Most High Spirit. It's something about woman. Because see, what man forgot. Let me give you a parable. You know how everything that's taking place in the world today? And do you see how George was murdered? George wasn't murdered where we couldn't see him. George was murdered right before our eyes. Okay? Right before our eyes. But yet you got those who still, even to today, are defending the fact that it ain't what we see. Well, that's how the Hebrew Israelite movement is. And our so-called kings and our so-called leaders who want to wrap their head and wrap a woman's head, make her look like there's no light in her. Because he's trying to put out her light in John 1 and 4 and 5. Also in verse 7, also in verse 9. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 4 and 5. It's a light in you women. And the Most High said, it's shining. So he was telling me, I ain't talking about you. He was telling me, Deborah, see, it's shining. He's letting me know that, Deborah, when I put that light in it, it was working. But the flesh refused to comprehend it. And because we want the man to fulfill our flesh, we done turned over our spirit. We done turned our light over to these men. And we have no light in us to connect to the light of the world, which is Yahshua HaMashiach. We have no light because we decided to give our light that was dimmed over to man along with our flesh, to make him king, to make him leader, to make him ruler, to make him higher above you. That is not of Yah. You have to have oil in that lamp, that light. And that oil has to be Yeshua HaMashiach. Because when you stand before Yah, he ain't gonna be worried about your husband on the side, or your father, or a man, or a king and leader. Oh, no, he better not come up there with that. He's gonna see if you have your light and if it's burning. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of you women today, your light is out. You are the virgins that has no oil in your lamp. Because the men are coming to make sure there's no oil in your lamp. They want you to look like there's no oil. Because these women that's wrapped up, they look like a mop on a stick to me. To me. I'm going to tell it like I see it. All wrapped up and it don't have no light shining. It's not a place I can go that people don't ask me. There's a light on you. There's a light on you. What's wrong with you? Can you see? You got a light on you. Strangers. That light has been in me since I was a little girl, and it's going to be with me when I lie down to sleep in Yahuwah. Don't give these men your light. You need your oil in your light, and that light got to be shining when he comes. Because he's coming like a thief in the night. And he's coming for the light that has the oil that's lit with Yeshua HaMashiach in it. So I'm saying to you women, pick up your cross, as they say, and follow Yahuwah yourself. And if he don't see the light in you, don't let him put your light out with all these different verses and precepts and lines and little here that man has brought a denomination in, along with all these other books that they say has been missing. Ain't nothing missing. It ain't never been missing. When he had them to bring you over the house of Israel on the four corners, do you know that everything that he has ever invested in your forefathers was in you? But because you got over here and you did like you did when you was in the Garden of Eden, you took the crown off your head, you laid it on the ground, and you gave everything that you had invested in you away to get under the slave owners' desires and ways. They could have beat you. They could have done many things to you, but one thing they can't take from you is that Ruach HaKodesh, nor your Yeshua HaMashiach, that lives in us. Yes, on that boat. If y'all would have been doing, if the forefathers would have been doing what they were supposed to have been doing, oh, you can destroy my body. But I got something greater in my body than he that's in this whole world. So this boat ain't gonna take me. Slavery ain't gonna take me. But because the forefathers wicked and hardened heart, they came over here, didn't leave their children anything. So that's why the children are lost without a cause, and now trying to say that it's a new awakening and everybody need to awaken them. Look at the men today. They will not stand up for righteousness. They will not stand up for justice. And Sister Deborah made a poster, and I'm getting ready to find out a place, see what kind of place I can get to make t-shirts. I'm going to make as many t-shirts as the Most High Yah will suffer me to. And I'm going to pass them out. And my t-shirts that the Most High put on my heart to do is something that he's saying you do. Because if you're looking for anybody on these devil platforms to do anything that I have spoken unto you, you can hang it up. You can hang it up. You can't even say anything to them to even get them to even listen for 1 hour, a half an hour, 15 minutes, because they have been full of delusion. I have allowed it because they would rather believe a lie than believe the truth. And you know, Sister Deborah, that I have sun minds out to speak spirit and truth, and they have did nothing but destroy them. But I, Sister Deborah, I stand here to say unto you, this thing is bigger than your husband. This thing is bigger than a king that he said he is, or a leader that he said he is, or any of these precepts and lines and little here, and every word that comes out of the mouth of man, which they have trapped you with. If those words that comes out of their mouth is speaking to a woman from the beginning to the end, you best bet it better be the Yeshua HaMashiach or Yahuwah speaking those words that can drive one from the beginning to the end. Oh, y'all ain't gonna come help you women. I wanted to let you know that. He could have did that in the Garden of Eve if that was the case. He let me know, I'm not coming, Deborah. I'm not coming to change. I'm not finna bring a new revelation. I'm not finna bring anything. What I said then stood for now. What I stand now will stand for then. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. Because Jacob even said, Judah, who can arouse Judah? Meaning awaken Judah. Because Judah is gone. I see them out there killing each other and destroying each other. And you don't hear not now man on these platforms teach that thing deep. Because it's not in their hearts. They so busy trying to belittle women. They so busy trying to hammer down a woman. Why? Because if you look, women, let me show you something. Let me show you something, women. Women, let me tell you something. Even with the men, he has never done this before. Who is the earth? It's called mother. Hell has enlarging herself. Who is adorable? Who is the bride? Who is her? Who is the wife? Who is the woman? Again, who is the bride? I keep seeing adore herself, her jewels. What is this bride? What is this wife? What is this virgins? Who is this virgins that had 5 on this end? It was 10. The virgins. 10 with no oil, 5 with no oil and 5 with. The virgins are considered a female. What is it that labors? What is it that travail? Y'all been talking to you women all this time and you have not picked up this book and learned. But Sister Deborah finna tell you how you do it. You get you a good King James Bible, okay? Don't let nobody tell you about 1611 or Ezra and all these other books. Get you a good King James Bible. Pray that the Most High and tarry until he endows you with his Holy Spirit. Let him know how you want Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus Christ, to come into your life. And that you understand the mission of Jesus Christ. Because a lot of people don't know. They don't understand who HaMashiach. Jesus Christ in Hebrew is Yeshua HaMashiach. They don't even understand who Christ is. They don't understand who Yeshua is. I mean, not Yeshua, HaMashiach is. They don't understand. That's why he was present at the beginning. Because he's the power of the Father's right hand. They don't understand any of that. And they're not going to. Because there is a spirit of strong delusion on our men. He said there is a spirit of hate, a demonic hate that they have for their women. Why? Because Hebrew Israelite women, especially the tribe of Judah, it is time you strap up and strap out. If they're not going to go on these highways and byways and minister to these lost that's out here, what did he say? Don't be afraid of those who destroy the body, but be afraid. You need to be more concerned about he that destroyed the body and soul. Why? Because I give you the mission. And I don't give you a mission of a spirit of fear, but of a sound mind. Jacob was talking to Judah, his fourth son, telling him about how his hand's going to be on the enemy's necks. Wait a minute, what you mean? Not today, not to 2020. Something somewhere is missing. Because instead they running with their tail between their legs, talking about we got to pray. It ain't never been a time we shouldn't have been praying. Prayer should have been rolling off our left day and night, not wait until the world is trying to trap us and judge us in an unjust way. And while these unrighteous people that's on these platforms are telling people to don't go out, don't stand up, or the virus. Now it becomes a real virus. But long as they on this platform feeding it to you, it's a man-made something. It is a man-made chemical. It's a biochemical warfare. They're using it. And I'm going to tell you something else. Want me to tell y'all something that you don't know? If you're waiting for the chip, if you're waiting for the 666, it ain't coming. Because the Most High shared with me something that I didn't know. And that is, if we're going to stand before him in spirit and in truth, we ain't standing before him with a mark on our head. We're standing before him in spirit. That means that the mark of the beast is already present before you and already then tapped on you. Because the moment they built that biochemical warfare, that little virus, and they got everybody in the world to submit, there it is. So while you all are waiting for a 666 to go onto a flesh, that after 3 days of death, it deteriorates, that 666 is not going to the kingdom. So it's something about you that's going to be judged, selling your soul, selling your right to eternal life. So what could it be? It can't be your flesh. They can't put a chip in you. They can't put a 666 because those things deteriorate. They fall away. What about if they got this FEMA camp? You see all them Walmarts closed down. No one seeing all them buildings that they building. No one really paid any attention to those millions of cassettes, plastic cassettes that Obama made during the time he was in office, right before he got out. No one pays attention to that. No one cares. The Most High said they're in a strong delusion, so busy trying to bam somebody on the head and say, be submissive to me. I can have many wives. Everything that affects the flesh is what these men on this devil platform talk about. But when it comes down to spirit and truth, they don't have a word for you. And you've been running behind them, and the Most High been allowing you to, because he knows who's who. He knows that he that has an ear in here. He said if it was so, it would fool his very elect. So he got his elect out. So when Obama made all these castics, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, no one cared. Even to today. How dare can a man, you can tell where the 666 has already been sealed in the minds of the people. How can you say that, Deborah? It's because it's in here where it can be controlled. It's not a mark on your head or a chip in your hand. I know y'all fail to realize who been tampering with this. The Most High said you worship him in spirit and truth. So when you stand before him, there are going to be people who are going to be doing things to people that ain't going to want the chip, ain't going to want the mark, but they're going to get it because they're going to be forced, by death, they're going to get it. You know, they're going to be forcing them, putting it in them and doing things. So I'm going to tell you, you don't have spirit and truth. See, it didn't came already. I sit back and listen to these Hebrew Israelites, and I said, look at these men teaching. They teaching from the front door. The enemy then came through the back windows and the back door. The enemy didn't even come to the side door windows. He came strictly through the back door on them. And they run around here talking about we can have many wives and the women this and the women that submit. You should do this for your husband and you supposed to be like this. You are fools. Because when you look at a lion, her lion net is what tears things up for him. So you tell me, who are you? What are you? You are not for the Most High Yah. And women, all through the Bible, Revelation talk about the bride and adorable and her husband and wife and the woman that fled in the wilderness. He's not talking about a female. He's talking about Israel. So if he's using a female entity or a female, something that describes a female, why must you do that? Because you the husband? No, because he's Yah. He knows what he wants to call everything before the foundation of the world, and he sealed it that way. But along with that, that's why he did not create woman beside man. It's because he knew that he had such a special anointed and appointed mission for you women that you then got lost without a cause. These men can't stand without you. They falling all over the place. I get in my car and I go up the street and I see all these men all over the place. You go downtown, not if you just everywhere you go, they just everywhere. Standing in the streets, minds are gone. That means if their mind gone, their children mind gone. And they study having babies by men that ain't even got a mind. And you breeding these men all over again that ain't even stable in their spirit nor in their minds. And you're wondering, why do my child has ADD? Oh no, we want to blame it on a white man. No. Women start seeking these husbands and finding out. Why is it that you have these sons that got female voices? Walking like a female, acting like a female, scared and feared like a female. Because a lot of these men have tapped in on the other side. A lot of times when they have masturbated since they was a little child, when they become a man, whether they get married 1, 2, 3 times, their seeds inherit the ways that they have lived life mentally. And their seed come out wanting to feel like it's a female. Because when a man is masturbating, he's masturbating with himself. So mentally, sickness. At least one, if not two, but mostly one of their children going to come out with that spirit of wanting to be the opposite race. A lot of men don't know that. But see, the Most High only share things with those that he has called. He said, if it was so, it will fool his very elect. I can look at a man from the back and tell you if someone been bothering him and how long they've been bothering him and how long he's been in it. I can look at a boy and tell you if somebody been tampering with him and how long he been tampering with. I can't look at no female because the only way he taught me is to look at the male. It's something going on with them that I could see. And I can discern if someone been bothering them. And I was saying to the Most High, but Father, these are babies. These are little boys. He said, go back to the book, Deborah. You can hear the truth of the matter started back in Genesis. So a lot of things that we as calling ourselves all this because we the Hebrew Israel, we Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham, we don't understand. They are the seed that came on down. Their foot crushed the serpent's head. Why? Because they came in doing the will of the Father. The steps that the Yah has ordered for them, the enemy came after. They used their heel. They crushed his head. He bruised their step because he always interfered with the order that Yah has called them. But they got out of here. So they were able to crush the devil's plan and get up out of here to do the will of the Father. So this is why he has in Matthew's the first chapter telling you all the way down from David, all the way down telling you all of those who have the seed. Those are all the ones that have. It wasn't just Yeshua. Everybody thinking that in Genesis when they talking about you shall crush the woman's heel, the woman's seed. That's not a female. That is a seed of the Father. That's why I need women to understand. Why did the Creator come up with everything surrounding his whole mission from Genesis to Revelation and wrapping it around a female entity, a female? Why? Why did he say the things that goes on in life is like a woman in travail? Why? A woman in labor. Why? Why did he call what belongs to him bride? Wife, woman. Why? Why? He didn't have to do that, but he did it. Because there's messages that you all miss, women. You missed it. Because you're chasing a man. And you have given these men, not only have you given them all your flesh, you have given them your spirit. Something the Most High never intended for us to do. My daughter asked me, why are these men like this, Mama? Why is it? Because she was totally against the things I used to say until she had to live it. And live it. Beautiful, smart boy. She can help a man get anywhere he wants in life. She gonna make sure she there to support him and give him and help him in any way as a female. Oh, that she's sharp. She just that sharp. But they don't have it. You can't give them what they need, women. Stop trying to. You can't make them. You can't break them. You can't do nothing for them. Because if they don't tap into their spirit man, the part of them that only worship Yah, then you can't do it. Nothing you can do. But you better try to tap into your spirit that worship Yah. And let your spirit worship Yah in spirit and truth. And if you want to give him your flesh as your husband like you want, then that's fine. But don't give him your spirit, women. Don't give that man your spirit. Now, a lot of times, a great number of times, the majority of the time, the women turn around and just give him the flesh. But what happens is he's so persistent in destroying the flesh, so the flesh can destroy the spirit. And it works very well. The women begin to get stressed, depressed. I'm going to go beyond just stress because David said he was stressed. That's just help. Stress interfere with the flesh. But depressed is body and spirit. It comes to attack the body and spirit. And anything that comes to attack your body and spirit, you might not make it out. You might not make it out. That's why it's so important to get your spirit to be the overseer and the power of your flesh. Because if you have to or end up depressed, then your spirit can overpower. But if your spirit don't know nothing, don't have no oil in its lamp, don't have no light, oh, you are messed up from the floor. You know, and I say unto you women, these men are the way they're acting out today and the directions that they're going in, do not follow them. I don't care if they're your husband for 50 years. Don't follow the ways. If they're not following, like what did Paul say? Follow me only he didn't say only, but he said follow me while I follow Christ. See, but these men ain't telling you all that. They telling you, give me your spirit and your soul, and give me your spirit and your flesh, and get over there and sit down. Shut up. I'm king. I'm leader. That's all they can say. They precept you to death with all that. And all that came out of the mouth of a man. None of it came from the Creator, nor did it come from Yeshua HaMashiach. That's why When Yeshua told him, have you not read from the beginning? That was not so. I don't care what Moses told, child. From the beginning, that wasn't so. What do you mean? Because he knew the way the Most High designed it. It's not the way Moses done told you because of your heart and heart. That is not the way. But did he come to change that? You didn't hear Yeshua try to change that. Because y'all told me, hey, Deborah, I could have changed it in the garden. I didn't. I could have changed it before the foundation of the world. But that's not how he rumbles. That's not who he is. Get to know him, spirit and truth. Get to know who the Most High is. He gave me all these verses. And they were so good. It was last night. And I thought that was so beautiful. And it's really good. It is really good. And then he talks about how in one verse about being the weaker link. He said her as the weaker, telling him. And he's speaking of flesh. He's not speaking of spirit. He said her as the weaker in flesh. He's not speaking in spirit because, see, he is the strength of us all in spirit and in truth. If we have accepted who he is, 99.9 lamp don't have no oil. Their light then gone out because their flesh wouldn't comprehend the spirit that he put in them. So the light has gone off and they're being led only by the flesh. And that's why I say the devil platform is a prime example of people being fed by the flesh. But he told men to deal with her as the weaker in flesh, not the weaker in spirit. Because in that spirit is where he abide. Greater is he that is in thee than he that is in the world. So he's not telling these men, but I'm going to tell you what he told them. He said, if you deal with her as the weaker link, to me, that's like a cotton ball. That's like delicate. You think these men got sense enough to do that this day? They don't have their heart so hardened as it was with Moses. Told them to go on, just give her a written decree. And they wanted to marry again, go into her, have another woman, get rid of her. Another decree, just like they couldn't follow the laws and the commandments then. They still not doing it today. But somewhere in there, they figured they found the name, they found all the books, and they can precept the things that comes out of the mouth of man. And now they got a newfound denomination called the Hebrew Israelite movement, and they got it going on. So now I start, even as I'm talking to you, I start to understand why they're like scared chickens, and their boots are all unlaced. And they all on these devil platforms talking this yang. It's because they ain't got nothing to take out to the people that's out there looting and saying the things that they say. But I say unto you all, I am going to get shirts. And if anyone is interested in, let me know and I can ship them to you as well. I'm going to get shirts that says, if you can't die with us, you can't fight with us, don't speak for us, nor stand with us. Anytime the European is willing to stand with us and march with us, they should be willing to die for us and fight for us. And dying mean, a lot of people think that means being killed. No. See, you can stand with me and you can march with me, but you can still believe there was nothing wrong with what your daddy did in them days. You got to die to that sin. See, a lot of y'all don't understand what's being said. Sister Deborah told you I deal spirit first and then flesh. And this message, when I say, if you can't die for us, that means you can't die to all the stuff that you've been told and lied. You ain't been in and studied and really understood what was going on. And you can die to what all you've been taught and misled. If you can't die to it, your ways, if you can't die to them ways that y'all have, if you can't die to hatred and you can't die to saying that we are this way and they are this way, you got to die to a lot of things. And if you can't fight, if you can't go to the White House and lay out on all their grounds for 20 miles, lay on the ground and don't get up. If you can't go to the court building, lay down and don't get up. Let them call the military. Don't get up. Fight for what you feel is right. If you're willing to do those things, if you can't go to the police station and lay down and stay there until they try to get you up, That's what's called dying and fighting for us. Don't stand with us. Don't march with us. Because we don't know what's on our left. We don't know what's on our right. We don't know what's behind us. We don't know what's in front of us. We're ignorant people. We are stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient. We know nothing. So Sister Deborah knows something. And that's why it's important that we change that logo. Black Lives Matter. I'm calling the tribe of Judah out. We have to change that logo, even if it's one on here. Here's me. Touch base with me. We need to change that Black Lives Matter all over the world, not just in the United States. We need to change it all over the world because that's a white manipulated mindset. But when we change it to dying and fighting, that's when you see a change. That's when you see a change. Not one over here, they fired him over here, this one over here charged. No, this been going on for too long. It's time to make a change. So Sister Deborah, I know you have to have enjoyed this, my one person out there. So I say unto you, this is a message from the wilderness. And I'm going to come back. We're letting you know how the Most High Yah has allowed Jacob to speak to my spirit. Oh, Jacob, no, he did it. He did it up. He did it up. And I had no idea that Jacob had these things to say to the point where the Most High had allowed him to get to know his children the way he did. So that's why he was able to tell them what was going to befall them, because he got the chance through the Spirit of the Most High to learn who those children were. And guess who was with him? The Most High Yah was backing him up. You got to hear this message. So Sister Deborah, say, I will be back. So shalom and shalom.